Welcome, welcome. Come on in, guys. Come on. Come on in. How's everybody doing today? Good. Hey, Pepe. I haven't gotten to your sound file yet, Pepe. But I did get it. Just need to remember to do that. Hey, guys. Come on in. All right. Today is going to be pretty fun, actually. We're going to be working on some ragdoll physics. So let's jump on into Unity. I'm going to show you what I've made so far for my next game. For those of you who have joined us, you know this already, but my next game is called Father. It's a retro, creepy, first-person shooter. So right now we're just getting all of the basics sort of built into the game. We've got all the weapons created, ammo systems, sprinting. The graphics are already pretty much set in stone. I really like them. And right now we're working on the enemies here. So over the weekend when I was terribly ill, I snuck into the office for about, let's say, an hour while my wife was putting my son down to bed. And I was able to figure out, hold on one sec here. I was able to figure out how to get the enemies here to actually hear the gunshots and also have a peripheral view, so you could sneak around them if you really want to and not have to use a weapon at all. But if the moment you fire a weapon, the horde sort of invades. So yeah, so let me show you that. All right, so as you can see here, the enemies sort of wander around. Ooh, that's a little too loud. Let me turn that down. Let me turn that down. There we go. All right, so as you can see here, they chase me because I just swung my axe. Now, I don't think I want to do that with the axe because the axe is pretty quiet, so I might do that really quick, make it so that the axe doesn't do that. So now we have a horde of enemies. Chase us around. All right. All right, so let me show you really quick here. I don't think I activated every single one. Oh, shoot. Let me try again here. Hopefully I'll give you guys an idea of what's going on. Maybe let's move, yeah, let's move the player, actually. All right, I want to show you guys what's going on. It's actually pretty cool. So if I move the player's start position, let's say, let's actually move him into the woods over here, sort of out of the game's frame. So hopefully I could shoot and it'll be pretty quiet. Oh, 2 people heard me. Not sure who. All right, these 2 guys over here, I think. Yeah, that guy heard me and that guy heard me. But the rest are still wandering around, pacing, which is pretty awesome. He just heard me, but that guy did not, which is perfect. Let's see here. That guy hasn't heard me either. And he can't see me either. So oh, wait. No, he does. Oh my goodness, they all heard that gunshot. So what's cool is we can actually go into the enemy here. So let's go to, it's called Father Walker, or Walker Father. And you can see here they have a hearing value, hearing power. So currently I think, I don't know, it seems a little too intense. So I'm going to put it down to 3. Guys, all this does, this hearing power, all it does is it increases their view range. That's basically all it does. So this little box here, this is one of the walkers' sort of peripheral, is that how you say that? Peripheral view. So you can walk anywhere around here and the walker will not actually be able to see you, and you could technically sneak around all you want. But the moment that you shoot the gun, a variable called isShooting gets set to true. The moment that gets set to true, this hearing power actually multiplies by the size value of the box collider. So it goes from 25 to whatever 25 times 3 is. What I can't even do the math. 70, right? 75, 70. I don't know. No, 75. Thomas, you're so stupid. 75. So it gets multiplied to that. So suddenly it's like, oh, if you're over here, you're gonna get seen, or over here, you're gonna get seen or heard, right? But the thing is I actually want to make sure I set the center value to 0. So now he can hear behind him. But this only happens for a second, and then it gets set back to its original value. So if the player was over here, you'd be seen or heard. Basically, you're just going to trigger the box collider, and he's going to come find you. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, guys. One of the things I want to do here is we're going to do some ragdoll. Sorry, I'm recovering from a pretty bad cold. I am suspicious of it being COVID because I kind of lost my taste. But I don't know. So what I want to do is actually just, let's go ahead and get the ragdoll working. What I want to do is, now that you guys have seen how this works. Oh, sorry, guys. I need a tissue. These are just beautiful live streams lately. Wonderful. Way to go, Thomas. All right, so let's go ahead and get the ragdoll set up. So I'm going to go ahead and disable all of the walkers here, except for one. And we're going to do this together. I haven't done this in a while, so we're going to figure this out together. This is going to be our ragdoll test case. And I kind of want to just get it set up, and then we can apply all of the animation to it and all of that later. I just want it set up, okay? So I'm going to disable sample enemy, nav mesh agent, I'm going to disable that, capsule collider, and the box collider, okay? We're going to enable it here, and we're just going to put this right here. So everything is pretty much going to be disabled so that we can really get the ragdoll working. We're going to disable the destinations here. Let's see here. There's also an animation that's occurring. Yeah, it's right here. We're going to disable the animator as well, and the audio source, and animator functions. So let's hit play here and make sure he's looking good. Let's move my character back to the center here. Well, there goes Unity. Okay, we're good. So let's go to my character, or my player controller, and there it is. All right, so let's just bring him towards the center here. And by the way, guys, there are only two coupon codes available for 35% off my program, Full-Time Game Dev. As some of you may have noticed, the coupon codes have become less and less and less frequent. So if you guys are interested in taking advantage of a discount as big as 35%, feel free to check that out. I'm going to stop this discount code for my streams. I'm going to stop it in about 2 days, maybe a week. No, it might be a week and a half. I'm not sure. After that, we probably won't be doing discount codes for a while during the live stream. So if you're interested in taking advantage of those 2 discount codes for 35% off my program, feel free to check that out in the link in the description. I've got over 2,000 students, and we learn everything from, securing 6 figures before you even finish your game, which I've done multiple times. This is with publishers. This is with Kickstarter. Where's our friend here? There he is. But I also teach, not only do I teach how to go full-time and secure 6 figures in funding with just a demo, I teach you how to make that demo, a 2D game or a 3D game, whichever one you want to create. I also teach you marketing tricks that I've used to build my studio and get noticed by the press, like Rolling Stone, Time Magazine. Guys, I teach all of this. It's not as simple as just making a game. You could get lucky, you could make a great game, but most of us, we need to learn how to actually operate a studio. And so I teach you all the stuff I had to learn the hard way. All my students are incredibly happy. The refund rate is incredibly low, 3 to 4%, which is super low for an online program. Guys, this is a premium flagship course. A ton of students, a really big Discord server, and if you're in the Discord server, feel free to say hello in the chat. But guys, you're not going to regret it. It's an investment in your future, and I say that humbly because I'm just getting this from my students. This is what they're telling me. They don't regret it. They love the course. They learn a ton. I get so many positive reviews. So if you're interested in getting that 35% off code, there are only 2 available today. So click below. These always sell out, or most of the time they sell out. Sometimes there's maybe 1 left. But these usually always sell out in the first 24 hours. So if you want to use, especially today, because there's only 2. All right, so it looks like our buddy is set up properly. And if that annoys you guys, if this ad read annoys you, just know it supports my game. It supports the production of this game. And also there's a 2D game kit, totally free 2D game kit that I've used to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days. And I played it with PewDiePie in front of his subscribers on his channel. So if you're interested in getting that free, click below and you get a free game kit. Okay, so let's do this ragdoll here. Now that I'm done with the little ad read. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our ragdoll buddy here. So I am going to select him if I can. And I'm trying to figure out animation rigging. Let's see here. There is a 3D object. There's like a ragdoll setup. Here we go. Physics. Usually there's a ragdoll setup. Gonna have to find it. All right. Ragdoll setup Unity. Let's see what it says. Okay, game object, 3D object, ragdoll. Okay. I thought I looked. Oh, there we go. Okay, and now we just drag in all of the bones. And I think I did this during the ragdoll setup in Blender. Hang on, we're looking at the legacy version. Son of a bee, hold on. Ragdoll? Ragdoll wizard. Okay, I'm at the correct version now. All right, I'll bring this in so you guys can see it. So for those of you who are thinking about getting into game dev, you should know that most game developers like me don't know everything. And so we spend most of our time hanging out in the Unity manual. How many in the chat know what I'm talking about? You just hang out in the Unity manual all day, and then your final product makes you look smart, but you're not smart. You're just referencing things. And actually, to be smart means you're able to actually look up things, right? Or ask your audience, which is what I do all the time. You guys usually know the answers pretty quick. Okay, so game object, 3D object, and ragdoll is what we're going to do here. You just drag them in and then click create. So that's about all we're going to do here. Now, we were actually inside Blender creating this character, I think it was a month ago, and we used the ragdoll wizard as our sort of framework when creating his body, because I knew we'd get to this point. So we were thinking ahead. So we're going to drag our pelvis in. Let's see here. Left hip. Let's go to left knee. Yep, it's perfect. Perfect. Foot. And let's close out this animation tab. It's causing things to slow down a little bit. If Unity's ever really slow, when you're outside of play mode, it could very well be because your animation tab is open and you just got a lot of keyframes. All right, our right hip is right here. Good. Let's go to our right knee. Right foot. Let's go to our left arm, which is on the middle spine here. Arm left. And then we have an elbow. Yep, elbow. Oh, this is so great. I'm glad we were forward thinking about this because we named everything properly. Right arm. All right. Welcome, Dodge to Block. Oh, thank you, Dodge. That means a lot. Dodge says, this is my favorite game dev. That's awesome. A lot of people don't like me. I found that out by doing some Google searches. So that really means a lot to me. Thank you. what I've learned, guys, is if you want to be on social media and you're like really want to gain a following, I haven't gained a huge following, but a pretty good following. If you want to do that, be prepared to hate yourself for a little while. And then you go, oh, wait, it's just social media. Who cares? And then it's no big deal. All right. Let's go to the head. Now, I don't know, I've experienced some just small nasty comments on Reddit. And then I learned, I learned Reddit is a bunch of, I'll say it, I don't really like Reddit anymore, guys. Sorry if you're on Reddit. I know Reddit's a lot of fun, but Reddit is a bunch of children. That's how I see it. But you know what? It is fun. Reddit is a lot of fun. But it can be a mess sometimes. All right, let's go ahead and click create here. Make sure everything's right. Pelvis, hip left, knee left, left foot, right hip, right knee, right foot. I didn't want to use the word incels. Left arm, left elbow. I mean, obviously, guys, Reddit has a ton of subreddit communities that are awesome. But I've just found the ones that are super popular, I just don't fit in with that group of people. Right arm, right elbow, middle spine, and head. So we're good, guys. Let's go ahead and click create and see what happens. All right, so where was the ragdoll created? Okay, good. All right. All right, so as you can see, it created a lot of these. It's great. It didn't create one for this right arm, though. How strange. What on earth? Is our bone labeled incorrectly? Because it should have created one right there, just like it did for that. So let's take a look and see. Elbow left. Hold on, I actually agree with Abuthar. Abuthar says he's a dev who makes money, and that's a big no-no. I didn't want to. I was gonna just ignore that comment, but it's one of the reasons. Yes, it's if you're a very profitable individual, you're immediately considered like a fraud. I don't ask me why, but that's what happens on Reddit. So whatever. It's like, okay, I guess, you know, I don't know how many games I need to make to prove to you that I make games for a living, but okay. Maybe I need to make an infinite amount of games, and then you're considered a game dev. That's why I like YouTube a lot better. YouTube is great. Okay, so it looks like elbow right is just... Let's go ahead and set up the bones. So for some reason, elbow right got all real screwed up. Okay. I don't know why. So let's see if we can fix that. Is it, let's see here, elbow right. No, yeah, for some reason it got screwed up. Direction Y. Maybe it needs to be Y. Yeah, okay. And then you go to the anchor. No, the capsule is all screwy too. So we're gonna set that to 0. And then the Y like this. And then the height like that. Don't ask me why that happened, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and hit play here and just see if it works. Now, one of the things about the colliders, I don't want them to screw with anything else. So let's double check something here. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let's hit play. I'm always scared to hit play with Ragdoll because it's usually screwy. Okay, there he goes. He fell. Hey, buddy. Good. What happens if I shoot him? Good, it works. That was easy. It's pretty violent looking, actually. So it doesn't work there. I think that's just because the MP40 is really light in terms of shoot power. The bullets, we need to really get the capsule colliders perfect. 2 games with 2,000 hours of content total, or you're not a real game developer. That's so funny. Yeah, I kind of agree. That's what it feels like sometimes. As Steven says, Reddit is full of insecure kids who argue over things that should be taken lightly by default. You know, isn't it funny? I always thought Reddit was a place for rebels, like skater kids who like paint graffiti and like, you know, down with the man, that kind of stuff. And then I found out that Reddit was actually where the Karens went. So I stopped going there. It's just a real painful place. Okay, so now that that works, let's see how this, let's actually, okay, so that, his mass is just so heavy. And that means that the only thing that actually causes, like the shotgun maybe, might move him. So we need to actually make him a lot lighter. I think his mass is just too heavy. Okay? So this is great, guys. Things are working out really well. And the good news is it works within the prefab. So hopefully we can like take this prefab, get it all set up properly, then disable all of the joints so that we can enable them when he dies, right? You published a game today? Who said that? Hold on. Dodge to Block published a game today. That's awesome. Congratulations. Feel free to let us know what it is and we can Google search it. We can't post any links though. That's okay. All right, let's get everything set up properly, guys. Looks like his head, the bone for the head doesn't even exist. Or the size. What? There it is, Sphere Collider. It's tiny. Let's do some offset here. And then radius up. That's right here. Now, we're going to want it to be pretty close, guys. Okay, to the size of his head and the arms and everything. The reason why we're doing it this way is so that the bullets can actually show up on the surface. I would prefer we do it that way, as opposed to, as opposed to doing like a projector with blood, using a projector. Projectors get kind of weird, especially when the body's moving all over the place. So I think I want to have them just sort of appear on the surface. So what I want is the radius to be just a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. And hopefully this will work just fine. And then maybe up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go through every single bone here. This is going to be fun. The axe does shoot things, yes. In terms of the actual programming, yes. It shoots bullets. But they're using a sphere cast, so it can hit a certain range, and then the distance is much shorter than a regular bullet. Okay, we're gonna start with, I guess, the hip here, and the radius is gonna be pretty small. Good, just like that. Nothing crazy there. Let's go to his foot, or his knee, I guess. I really don't like the name of the bones by default that Unity offers. That's not a knee. That's a shin. So, I don't know. I don't really like it. By the way, guys, my family is just constantly sick. My kids are sick. My wife is getting sick, I believe. So I'm sorry I was out on Friday. It was hard, actually. It's really hard for me to take a day off. But we've got this nasty virus. I don't know. You know, it could be COVID. I don't know what it is. It doesn't. I'm not worried or anything. I don't care, honestly, because I just, my family's had COVID and nothing really happened. I'm not saying it's not bad for a lot of people, but my family has had it and it's not bad for them. It hasn't been bad for them, so I'm just not worried. It can be though, obviously, but it sure feels bad. Like it feels like a really nasty cold. Luckbringer says Reddit's full of Karens. Arshia, if I've got COVID, never mind. I don't want to get into this conversation. Let's see here. So we're just scaling up the arms. Okay, this one is a little bit too long. This is the one we were working on custom, remember? There we go. And trust me, I am drinking water. Plenty of water today. Okay, let's scale this down just a little bit. There we go. I think everything's looking good so far. Let's see here. So, ooh, we also have this pelvis here. Yes, right here, I believe. So we can scale that down a little bit. There we go. Really thin, right? And again, the reason these are perfectly sized, guys, is because the bullet marks are actually going to appear on these box colliders. So it's not going to be perfect. It's going to feel retro in the sense that it's not perfectly aligned with the flesh, right? But we do want them to be a little bit bigger. Okay. So something like that. There we go. There's plenty of ways for you to project blood onto things. So for me, though, I'm just going to do it with these box colliders. All right, let's hit save here and take a look at how it feels. All right, buddy, my little ragdoll friend. Oh, much better. So if I shoot him, you can see the bullet marks. They're fine. They're not great. I might need to do a projector now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, we're going to have to do a projector. It's not working for us. That sucks. All right. I love it, though. It looks great. I mean, it just adds so much value to the game. You know, if they all just collapse into, like, just ragdolls. It's just going to add so much value because you're going to be able to see the bodies just hitting the floor. Hey, 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 what's going on here? The cool thing about this bone renderer is you can actually select the bone. See? Well, in theory. What the F? Come on. Come on. Never mind. It was working for me last week. Okay, let's go ahead and... there he is. Let's fix this arm over here. There we go. And we're just going to scale down the radius of this. It's really long. Where did I get the gun audio from? Hector, are you in the chat? My buddy Hector did the he did the sound effects, and you can follow Hector below. And sometimes he live streams the creation of the sounds. Does this mean Thomas can't do sounds? Of course not. I've been doing sounds for 15 years, half of my life. But I hired Hector because he's better than I am. And Hector is familiar with all sorts of gun sounds, and I actually went to the shooting range, to my buddy's land actually, last week and shot a bunch of guns to make sure that the sounds are correct. Everything feels really good. It feels the way you would expect a rifle to sound, or, you know, I don't have obviously an automatic weapon, but I do have a semi-automatic, and shot that, my AR-15, and then also a shotgun. Just got a feel for those, and those are actually going to be featured in my next video. So hopefully you guys can get a feel for it too. So everything feels really realistic. I like it a lot. Okay, the next thing I want to do is actually go to my various rigid bodies here. And I want the mass to be much smaller, because you'll notice that the guns just aren't... I want the body to fly far, honestly. I want people to be able to have a really good time. So obviously 3 is way too much. Let's set everything to 1. Or divide by 3, I think is a better way to put it. So something like 0.5 here. Knee will be 0.5. Hip will be 0.7. I'm just guesstimating here. Middle spine 1. Arm. Super thin arm, you know. I'm just guesstimating. Nothing crazy here. I should have set this up in the ragdoll setup, but you know me. All right, and then the head, 0.5. Now let's hit play and see how everything feels. Call the ragdoll Reddit and shoot it. What did you say? Devondra says you're shooting real guns for your game. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, I have guns, so I just go out and shoot them. Okay, feels good. What about with this? Yeah, we're not making much progress with the axe. I really want him to move. What about the shotgun? That's a lot of fun. Okay, so if you can go to the shotgun here, you'll notice there's like a power variable. Let's see here. Yeah, you do need an ESRB rating to release on mobile. And I will say with my previous games, I had help from publishers to help me get through all of that red tape. I will say I did half of the work. I just don't remember what it was. Launching for console is a real pain in the butt, for sure. Zach says, I released my first game a month ago. It's called Minefield Renegade and is on itch. Your videos really inspired me to finish it. It's not much to look at, but I could finally say I've made a small game. That's awesome. Congratulations. Alex says Nephilim, more like Wiglin. All right. All right, let's see here. If we scroll down, we can actually see there's like a shoot power, forward force, and then maximum damage. Interesting. Minimum damage 5. Okay, I think that's with the shotgun itself. Let's go to the rifle. I think the rifle's a little bit different. Let's take a look. 40 and 70. That's interesting. I'm not sure what maximum and minimum damage do. Let's see what AJ meant here. AJ wrote the code for this game kit. Let's keep taking a look here. Hey, someone logical. Why are you having a bad day? Let us know. I'm interested. Okay, let's take a look. Maximum and minimum damage. Let's see what this does. Hit transform, damage multi, take damage. So it's like how close it is to the bullet. I'm not quite sure what it means. So I'm not too worried about maximum damage. I think all we really need to do is forward force. So let's take a look. Forward force. So yeah, it's just adding force to a rigid body. That's all it is. So that's great. So if you could take a look at the rifle, the forward force is pretty insane. It's like 150. Whereas if you go to the knife, which is actually an axe, you'll see it's only 10, right? I feel like it's too small. I think when you hit something with an axe, you want to be rewarded for it. So we're going to do 100 for that. For the MP40, I'm sorry, the automatic weapon, forward force is really small. Let's do 50 for that. What about for the, let's take a look at the rifle. The rifle's really insane. That's a lot. Let's do 100. The shotgun, I feel like it should be the biggest. Yeah, so like, well, maybe 120. The rocket launcher, yeah, we need to go pretty crazy with that. So, where are you, my friend? Wait, where did the rocket launcher go? There it is, Thomas. This one, scroll down here, forward force. I'm thinking 100 for the rocket. And then, is there any other weapon that I'm missing? I think I'm missing the pistol. Yep, so let's take a pistol. By the way, guys, once we get all these weapons perfect, we can actually just create cousins of these weapons. So you could have a semi-automatic or like a double shot pistol. Make it look different, make it more powerful. For the rifle, you could have one with a scope that just zooms in the camera, right? For the shotgun, you can have an automatic shotgun, right? Automatic shotgun. You could have an automatic, rocket launcher. So you could double the amount of weapons and you're just using the regular weapons as the baseline. Forward force for the pistol, let's do 40. Let's save it out and take a look. All right, let's go hit him. Hey, buddy. Good. Feels a lot like Half-Life. This is like really gross. All right, good. So we're gonna need to now create some kind of projector for the blood. Actually, I would rather just get it set up currently before we work on the projectors for the blood. Like I said earlier, I don't want to use projectors, but we're gonna. Because you'll notice the bullets just aren't working for me. The projectors are gonna put it directly onto the flesh, all right? And I think we might be okay with that. You might see some bleed, like the projector might pass through the leg and hit the other leg. But other than that, I think we're going to be okay. Okay, AJ Tech is here. AJ Tech is the coder. This is AJ. AJ, welcome. So let's test all the other stuff here. That's pretty intense. Yeah, pretty intense. So let's take a look at the body. Where did you go, body? Oh, there we go. Let's see the shotgun. That's great. AJ, you missed it. We were working on, I made it so the enemies patrol. I also made it so they have peripheral vision. And then they also have hearing now, so they can hear gunshots and raid you. All right, good. So far, so good. Next thing I want to do is, let's see here. What we need to do is we need to create a script. And that script is going to find all of the rigid bodies associated with the enemy. It's also going to find all of the hinge joints associated with the enemy. So these two right here. Well, what do we need to find, actually? Let's write it down. Text edit. I bet you there's a script on Google. But what we need to do is we basically need to disable and enable the entire ragdoll, okay? So what we'll do is search for a rigid body, search for box colliders, this will be with a script. Search for a character joint. Let's see what other ones we got. Capsule colliders, we need to look for those. We need to look for, what else? What else are we gonna need to find? We got box colliders and capsule colliders. I believe that's all we're gonna be searching for. And then obviously, you know, rigid bodies as well. Now, did I see a hinge joint? No, there's no hinge joint. So what you have to do with character joint actually is like delete, how do you break a character joint? That's interesting. All right, so that's what we're gonna need to do. It's gonna be a for loop, and it's just gonna disable and enable a ragdoll. So I'm actually gonna create a script. I'm gonna call it ragdoll enabler. And this is all this gonna do is allow us to enable and disable a ragdoll. Enable, disable, okay? So let's take a look here. Currently, when you kill an enemy, they explode, right? That's cool, but we're gonna, instead of doing that, we're gonna wanna do ragdolls being enabled and disabled. Okay. So, sorry, I need to close out a lot of this stuff here because it's getting me overwhelmed. Okay, ragdoll enabler. Ragdoll. I'm gonna call it ragdoll, unless ragdoll is a class on its own. I don't think it is. See you later, Amit. Thanks for joining us. All right. Let's open up our Visual Studio here. Okay. So I'm going to close out a lot of this stuff here. And let's go to our, I feel so much better than I did on, last time I streamed, I think it was Thursday. And I felt like crap. So I feel way better. Okay. Like I can actually think today. Okay, here's our ragdoll script. So let's go to Brave. Brave is my browser of choice. Why? Because Google Chrome is a freaking spy. What else am I supposed to say? And they need to chill out before I'm ever going to use their browser again. I'm one of those people. If you want my data, no. You're not going to have it. How's that? So let's see here. Sorry, I got a bunch of tabs open here. Okay, let's open up. Let's see here. Let's Google search. And by the way, when I Google search stuff, this is just one of my paranoias. And it's not a paranoia at this point. I think everybody should do it. Google like normal stuff, like how to code stuff. But if you're ever doing personal searches, like even small things, like, you know, where the nearest grocery store is, or opinions or stuff like that, use DuckDuckGo, okay? Because Google is proving to be a moron lately. They are getting a little too power hungry. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to Google search, disable Ragdoll Unity. Here it is. Hey, that's beautiful. That's a clean script. I like it. Here it is. Void disable Ragdoll. And it's just going to find all of the rigid bodies and remove them. But the truth is that I kind of want to also find the colliders, because I don't want those. I don't know. Maybe it's okay that they're interfering with stuff. You know? That's JavaScript. Where's the effing C#? Whatever. Or Unity script, I should say. Yeah, that's JavaScript. We need to do C#. It was pretty. Yep, there we go. All right. Oh, this is great. This is great. I'm just gonna paste all this in. Ragdoll. There we go. Look at this. So it finds all the colliders and then the rigid bodies in the children. And then this is going to be disable. And it's just going to disable the colliders. I like it. Let's see here. Huh. Wait, looks like that was an error one. Okay. Yes. Okay. So these are going to disable on start, all right? Or even on awake. So let's test it out first. Void awake. I believe awake comes first, right? Let's just do this. I don't even want to use start. So here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to test it by saying disable. We're going to see if it actually does it. Now what we need to do is actually drag this to the parent of our object, of our enemy here. There we go. Fun Old Games just installed Brave. Congratulations, you just joined a movement of rational people who say, look, you gotta stop spying on me, you jackass. There we go. All right, guys. So what I'm gonna do is actually just go to the parent here. We can actually, I'm cool with having it right here, actually. So this is gonna be called Ragdoll. And when it starts, it should immediately turn off any Ragdoll feature. So let's double check. Did. Man, life is good. There he is. So in theory, well, let's double check something here. We've got rigid bodies. But for some reason, oh, they're set to kinematic. That's good. So what happens if I actually turn on the animator? Let's try it out. If I turn on the animator, I should see he's moving. Sweet. All right. Hey, you okay, buddy? Hey. By the way, guys, my scruffy boy, Georgie, is joining us today. Say hi, George. He was a dog that I had in college. And then when we had our first kid, he got a little nippy at my daughter when she was an infant. And so we let my in-laws have him. And so he's staying with us for a couple days. And Jebby's with us too. Come here, Jeb. Come on. Let's see if you can see Jebby. He looked at me like, are you going to show me? Come on, buddy. Come. You have a hug? Yeah. Oh, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. What's that? What's that? What's that? You alright? You gonna get down? Okay. So guys, we should be able to enable and disable the ragdoll with the click of a button. Okay. So what I'm going to do is actually go to the script here, and we're going to create a boolean in this. It's going to be called enable. And all it's going to be, or how about enabled? No, enable's fine. And then all we're going to do is, bloop. That's going to be, if you want it to disable, then you want the collider to not be enabled. So it's going to be enable. There we go. Honestly, I want to call this enable. Stop. Enable ragdoll. Okay. There we go. Enable ragdoll. Okay. And this is going to be called disable. I think that'll do it. Okay. Disable and then disable. Okay. And now we do true. So, or false. Enable ragdoll, false. And then it will false and then false. Good. Yep, that should do it. Let's hit play and make sure it works. We're also going to have it turn off the animator as well. Okay. But for now, we're just going to double check everything here. Good. All right. So the colliders, I kind of want them enabled because I want to be able to shoot a bullet and it hits an arm. So let's double check something here. Let's see what happens when we actually don't do anything to the colliders, okay? Let's disable that and then hit play. There are certain things about Brave that don't run better than Chrome. One of them is YouTube has a bit of a staggered sounds to it sometimes. It's like kind of glitchy. But not all the time. I think they fixed it. I recently did an update and everything seems fine. So you just know, Google's doing everything they can to make sure Brave sucks. So anyway, I'll get off my little high horse here. All right, guys. So what happens if I turn off? Don't turn off the colliders. Let's take a look. I could shoot him. Good. Good. Yeah, I feel like I want to make the colliders bigger because sometimes I shoot through them. So first off, before I do anything here, we're going to start with the... No, we're going to keep it as is, and then we'll test this out, okay? We're going to keep it as is. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a variable inside of Visual Studio, and this is going to be Boolean disable colliders on disable. How about disable colliders too? Okay? I know that sounds dumb, but it actually makes a lot of sense to me. All right, so we're going to do this. If, we're actually going to do it right here. If disable colliders too, then do this, right? Now, technically that's fine, but I'm actually going to, I'm going to wrap it in some brackets. Wrap it in some brackets. Hey, wrap it in some brackets. All right, guys. That should do it. That disables the colliders as well. Let's see here. Honestly, I'm trying to think of how I want to use this, but that should do it just fine. For now, that works just fine for now. Okay, so that's going to disable it's going to make the rigid bodies kinematic. So that means technically the enemies should run just fine if I re-enable everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our character here. I'm going to turn on everything except for the sphere collider. This is no longer relevant. It's like the script depends on it for some reason. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's go to sample enemy. There's a way. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay. And then let's go to our animator and our audio source and our animated functions. Turn those on. So guys, what's going to happen is the ragdoll is going to immediately fire the ragdoll script, and it's going to disable everything, and he should function just fine. The rigid bodies shouldn't do a thing. Let's double check. Where did you go? Oh, he's over here. So he looks like he's working just fine. Let's shoot him and see what happens. All right. So far, so good. So what's next, guys? What we need to do is when he's dead, we need to fire that script and enable the ragdoll and then disable everything else, right? So here's what we're going to do. Let me think here. Yeah, okay. That's what we'll do. We're going to go to our sample enemy here. And there are several things that need to happen on die. Okay, let's write this out in comments so we don't get confused. And this actually, I believe, is going to be in the enemy script, which is what this script is extending to. So it's a sort of a parent script if you want to think about it that way. All right. So, where's the death? Actually, it's all the way down here. Damageable entity. So we're going to go all the way down to damageable entity. All right, that is the baseline. All right. So I believe what we could do here is we need several references. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a header. Let's see here, die. There it is. Okay. And that right there. Okay. Let's create an override script, because this isn't true of every damageable entity. So I want it to be specific to this enemy type. Okay. This won't even be true for the drone enemy types, honestly. So let's see if we can create an override script for sample enemy here. Okay. So we're going to create what the heck is that? I don't like that. That's weird. Create a new private. Oh, void override. No, where do we put it? Where do we put it? How do we do an override script? Let's double check something here. Always Googling. Override script Unity. Overriding. Overriding. No, I don't want to go to Unilearn. Just take me to the documentation, you mother effer. Hold on. Just give me the effing script. Hold on. Overriding virtual function. Protected override void. Okay, so this is going to be private override. Yep, that didn't do it. Does it need to be public or what do we do? Public override die. Does it need to be virtual? Someone tell me. The modifier virtual is not valid for this item. The modifier override is not valid for this item. Why? Does this need to be like this? Is that what I'm doing wrong? Why is it not valid? Method must have a return type. Public void override? Huh. Well. Okay. I'm not even going to try. We're just going to ignore that ever happened. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to have a variable if ragdoll death, then do this. See? Do ragdoll stuff, right? Or enable ragdoll. There you go. Okay, so how do we enable the effing ragdoll? Well, we go up to the header. We're going to create a ragdoll settings. Or how about ragdoll references? Or just ragdoll. There we go. Ragdoll effects. The first thing is we need to have that boolean, which is going to be serialized. It's not public though. It's just a boolean, and it's going to be is ragdoll. Okay. The next thing I want to do is create a serialized field. Void before die, after override. C++ is called overloading. Yeah, you guys probably know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm just going to move forward with this, okay? All right, so if it's a ragdoll, then you just tick the box, okay, in the inspector. So that's cool. The next thing I need to do is I need to have a reference to the ragdoll or the animator itself. The question is, don't I already have that reference? I might. Let's see here. Is it in enemy? I do. I already have that reference, so that sucks. So I really don't want that twice. Somebody, okay, hold on one sec. Let's figure this out together, guys. Let's see here. Oh man, I don't want references. I really don't. Multiple references. I want to be able to use this reference here. So let's figure out how to do this override, guys. Does anybody know? It's right here. Wait, what? There's already one there. So we don't, okay, hold on. Let's take this, delete. Now, here's the thing. Okay, yeah, we'll remove that. Okay. So we're gonna copy all this actually. We're gonna take all this code and we're actually gonna put it in what we're extending to, which is enemy, all right? So now we have this death sequence. All right. let's see here. So down here, yes. Okay, so if we're not a ragdoll, we're gonna do all of this stuff here, okay? There we go. All right. Cool, the animator is not enabled, that's good. The trigger's not enabled, the agent's not enabled, all this stuff is good. We need that, regardless of if there's a ragdoll or not. And we're gonna put it right in here, just like that. All right, good. This stuff is for the top. What is this? If agent, good. All right. So now we can actually go down to this here, paste it, serialize field. The only reference we need here, to be sure, is the ragdoll script. And it looks like we're gonna need to move the ragdoll script into a new folder here because it's not finding the reference. See you later, Arshia. Thanks for joining us. All right. Let's jump back into Unity here. Enemy ragdoll. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is actually drag this ragdoll script that we created. Remember, it's right here. We're just gonna drag it all the way up to the game kit that was created by AJ, and we're just gonna put it inside of the enemies. I think that's fine. So now we can actually reference it here. Is ragdoll. Enable ragdoll. Okay. Then we're going to go to our ragdoll script, and we're going to go enable ragdoll false, just like that, or true. It's going to enable the ragdoll. So that's the theory. I feel like the death particles should appear regardless. So spawn drops. Let's see here. Good. Death particles. What is spawn drops? Let's see what that is. I don't even know what spawn drops is. Let's see where that's used. Search, find in files. Yeah, this is a weird one. It's a damageable entity. Oh, those are prefabs like hearts and health and stuff. Yeah, so that should happen regardless. Correct. At the top here. Let's just put it at the top so we don't forget it or don't lose it, because that's an important one. So that's gonna happen right here. And then obviously we want death particles regardless of ragdoll or not, because you want to get that feeling of a burst. So let's take that. And what we're going to do is go to the actual game object here. And let's drag in all the way down here. You'll see the ragdoll settings. You should. Let's see here. Huh. It's not showing up for some reason, which is fine. There it is. Yeah, it's right there. Okay. And then we just drag the game object to it and it'll find. There it is. There's the ragdoll script. So let's test it out, guys. Let's see if it works. Let's hit play. There he goes. He's running. He should come find me here. Huh. He can't see me. There he goes. So that was weird. Let's try it again. So he just got destroyed because the variable Walker Ragdoll. Wait. We have a few issues here. Let's double check and make sure the box collider is not disabling. Okay, it's not. I was worried that it was, because for some reason he wasn't hearing me or seeing me. And I'm curious why that is. If we go to his hearing range, let's take a look. His hearing power is 3. Let's set it back to 5 and see how that does it. Also, remember we need to go to is ragdoll. There we go. And then it's a little bit redundant. I could probably just say if there's a ragdoll component. Okay, here we go. There he goes. Awesome. That felt great. Let's try it one more time. I didn't like the direction he got launched in. You bet, someone logical. I hope you have a good day. All right, wake up. There you are. Hey, buddy, come on. Whoa. So I don't know why he launches towards my head like that, but that was awesome. I'm having fun already. I'm curious what that is. We need to set his force or something, and then add a force to whichever object we hit. So yeah, I'm curious what's going on here. So obviously, now that we've got this working, we're gonna apply what we just created here to every single prefab. That's the beauty of being careful and just working in one prefab. So let's go ahead and enable all of the Walker fathers. Here we go. And let's hit play. Here they come. He bursted. Oh, there we go. So we'll definitely need to work. Look at that. He's on the swing. See, this is why you do ragdoll. I love this. Whoa, what the heck? He got sliced in half by the swing. Good. George. No. Stop. That's okay, buddy. Get out of here. All right. So lots of weird things happening. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. Let's see if we can go find the bodies. Did the bodies all delete? Where did all the bodies go? Oh no, they're over here. Hey, buddy. I'm sorry. Okay, good. So far, so good. I'm actually pretty pleased with all of the bodies. There we go. Now, we're gonna need to make them turn static and sort of just, well, maybe delete after a minute or so. Yeah, it looks like the projectile is causing some kind of force. So, let's see if we can go find another body. And we're gonna do plenty of blood splatter on the floor. But for now, this is great. There's something here. What is, whoa. What? That was horrifying. Yeah, we'll probably need to set them static. So, Alex says they lunge for an intimate embrace in their dying moments. Georgie, what's wrong, buddy? It's because we've got a lot of bodies. And I can feel it getting slow already. Does anybody have any idea what we want to do here? You know, I feel like we need to set them to static. And then, I don't know if that would work, though. You guys getting some lag? Turn the collider off after a few seconds. Okay, that might work. I'm running into something. There's like a box over here. Is the lag gone, guys? Look at this. Look, I'm hitting something here. How strange. Look at this. The bodies are just flying everywhere randomly. Like this guy. Let's go collect some ammo. Okay, everything's better now, guys. Awesome. So Ragdoll's working great. I'm really, really pleased, actually. So that's really good. All right, guys. By the way, guys, let's see here. By the way, there are only 2 promo codes available for today. I'm going to slowly stop doing promo codes and eventually stop doing promo codes for a while during live streams, at least for the next month or so. So for the next few days, we will be doing promo codes. So if you want 35% off full-time game dev and join over 2,000 students, and if you're a student, feel free to say hi in the chat. You can join full-time game dev for 35% off, which is the biggest discount I have currently. So there are just 2 promo codes available. Basically, you're going to learn everything that I've learned in, honestly, creating my dream career, which is making games full-time. So I can teach you everything I've learned in securing 6 figures from publishers, but also crowdfunding. I've done this multiple times. And be able to quit your day job and go full-time indie, creating your own projects. I can teach you how to do that with just a demo. Believe it or not, it's totally possible, and I've done it. It's a 30-hour course. It teaches you all that stuff about funding, but it also teaches you how to make a 2D game and a 3D game. You're going to learn my art tricks. You're going to learn how to code. You're also going to learn how to make a 3D game. You're going to learn how to use Playmaker. There's just a ton of stuff that you're going to learn in this course. And on top of all of that, you're going to learn the Steam Cannonball. The Steam Cannonball are my tried and true marketing tactics and secrets on securing press coverage, like Time Magazine, Washington Post, PC Gamer. I've done that. And getting the front page on Steam, and I've done that as well. So I'm going to teach you how I did all this and what I've learned, and hopefully you don't have to, make all the mistakes that I did. On top of all that, guys, 30-day money-back guarantee. I'm not going to ask any questions. All you got to do is send me an email, and I will send you your money back. That's a 30-day guarantee. No questions asked. Oh, there's a Discord server. Bi-monthly mastermind meetings with me. And I think that's it. It's a big course. Really great reviews. I am burping all day. Really great reviews. Look at this. What is happening? Really great reviews. So if you're interested, use the promo code below. Guys, when I get back, I'm going to be doing a Q&A. Look at this. Dude, stay away. What is happening? That is so weird. It's kind of creepy. They're like saying, Thomas, stop with the ad read. Look at this. It's like Morrowind. Or not Morrowind, Oblivion. Guys, I'm going to go use the restroom really quick. All this water, right? And there's like a freaking... Something's in the way. Causing a lot of problems. What is that? Is it that? Whoa. That is so weird. The enemy is on that. He's still alive. What? The enemy has attached himself like Voldemort to this brain. That is so weird. What is happening? What? Whoa, hold on. I gotta figure this out. And I really gotta pee, but I gotta I gotta figure this out. Let's see here. I feel like we should destroy the enemy completely. Because this is hilarious. Let's turn off our gizmos. The bone renderers are huge. What is happening? I don't know. I don't know. I think I get it. Well, I understand why that's happening. I'm going to remove the bone renderer from the... Yeah, we don't need the bone renderer anymore. That's causing some weird issues. Just from a visual perspective. And we're going to figure out why the flesh is becoming possessed by the dead enemy type. But we're also going to do a Q&A when I get back, guys. So let's hang out in... You give me 40 seconds. And then we're going to do a Q&A. All right, guys, the whizzing occurred in record time. Let's do a Q&A. You guys ready? Let's do a Q&A. All right. Now, this Q&A is going to be specifically focused on game dev, guys. You guys can ask whatever you want, obviously, but if you want to specifically focus on game dev, the game dev career, I'll give you my best answers about what I've done in the game industry, how I got to where I am today, and how you can too, honestly. So let's do that. Ask away. I'm all ears. I want to help you guys out as much as I can. I do Twitch stream, so it should be live on Twitch right now. George asks, Thomas, how do you make randomly generated levels? I have no idea. That is not my level of expertise. A.R. Reinhardt says, Thomas, why are you so helpful when you don't have to be? Well, I like to think that I'm a really good person, but the truth is that I'm a capitalist. So what I do is I help people because ultimately, in the end, they convert, okay? Now, that's not the only reason I help people, but I'm going to give you a business first off, let's just set off on the outside. I love to teach. I love talking to people. I love when people learn, and I really genuinely like to see people help. But there's another side of the equation, which is the capitalistic side, the opportunistic side. And that is when you provide value to people and when you help people out, especially with your social media, when you're providing content that's helpful to people, it's called reciprocity. What happens is they more likely convert to customers in the long run, okay? So that's just a marketing principle. So obviously I love helping you guys, but there's also a side of these live streams that's, well, they're sponsored by Full-Time Game Dev. So a few of you will convert to customers eventually if I'm helpful. So I'm being honest here because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm some wonderful angelic human being that loves helping people. I do like to help people, but there's also a capitalistic marketing side to most social media content. If you guys are smart, you'll recognize that most social media content, there's something at the end of the equation, okay? That's not the only reason I do this, but that is one reason. All right. Alex, you're always with us, so I'm going to definitely give you a round of applause and also answer your question. Alex says, and we'll talk about your books, Funneled Games. How much of the motion graphics for your stream is stuff you've created versus it's all pre-made? I used to be one of the people who wanted to make everything from scratch, and I can make everything from scratch, but the truth is that I see no reason to create everything from scratch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on what I'm good at, and that's the 80-20 principle. 20% of what I'm good at is going to result in 80% of the output. And output can be defined by a lot of things, but in my case, this year for me, I'm focused on revenue. So the output is revenue. What's the 20% that I can do to maximize revenue? Well, motion graphics, you can find stuff for like $10 online, and it's going to save you a week of work. Okay, one of you asked, do I recommend any game dev books? And I don't recommend any single game dev books because I haven't read any game dev books, but what I have read is entrepreneurial books. And hopefully you guys can realize by now that I am half a game developer, half a marketer. Marketing is, I believe, what's made me a game developer, as opposed to game development making me a marketer. Marketing is really the driving force behind why I was able to become a game developer and why I was able to become a full-time game developer working from my office. So I'm going to give you some marketing books. Guys, write these down, all right? The first one is the 80-20 principle. Okay, that's all about what I just discussed regarding the 80-20 principle. It's about finding your forte, which I think is huge in game development because everybody thinks they need to focus on everything, and you don't need to focus on everything. You just need to focus on the 20% that you're actually good at. And then hopefully you can offload it to people who their 20% is what you're not. Your 20% isn't, right? The second book is Think and Grow Rich. Sorry, I got water in my beard. Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. Is that Napoleon Hill? I think it's Napoleon Hill. That book just changes your whole mindset on entrepreneurship and how to grow. A lot of you probably feel stuck in your life, and it's because maybe one of the reasons is probably I would bet one of the reasons you're stuck is because you're thinking inside a tiny little box about yourself, And you really need to learn to think outside of who you think you are, because who you think you are is not who you are. You're a lot more than you think you are. And you're really only who you become, right? I mean, who you are is who you die. I think is a good way to think of it. So you get to determine who you are when you die. Stop thinking of who you are right now and think of who you could be, I guess what I'm saying. So Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People has influenced my social abilities. I'm an introvert by default, but I've actually learned how to communicate with people. I operate very much like a salesman. You guys have learned this. You know that I can talk a good sales talk, but it's genuine at the same time. That's a skill that I've learned, and I'm still working on it. And to be honest and humble and transparent while also being a good salesman, that is the key. And it's really difficult to do that. How to Win Friends and Influence People teaches you how to be an influencer and how to be a person that people listen to, but also how to do it in a genuine way that is honest and sincere and not manipulative, which is ultimately the best salesman there is, right? Nobody wants to be manipulated. So that is another book I recommend if you're going to be a game developer or be anyone of influence in the industry. The final book that I'll recommend, what's the one that really changed me? It's probably Gary Vee. A lot of people don't like Gary Vee, but I like Gary Vee a lot, actually. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Yeah, Crush It and Crushing It. Recommend listening to those two books. Those are about building a social media army. And that's really, really important in this day and age. No matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If it's game dev, sweet. If you're, doing pottery, same thing. You need to learn how to build an army on social media. Okay. George Gonzalez says, Thomas, what games do you play when you're not making games? I don't play video games. I haven't played in a while. I hate to be one of those people, but when you have kids, it's really hard to find time to play games. And also when you do it as a job, you really don't want to play them. But I will say the games I like to play are games like Half-Life and Resident Evil 4. I don't really play anything new, and that's a problem, and I'll admit it. That's a problem. So Pablo says, Thomas, do you think it's possible to make a game dev career outside the U.S.? Absolutely. Do you know people from smaller countries who have achieved similar results as yours? I know people in Europe, and I know that might be a buzzkill for you, but because Europe is kind of similar to the U.S. in the sense that, it's mostly English, or it's at least most people know English. And but I will say that if there's any reason why you're not going to be a good game developer and you're not going to be successful, it is the language barrier. That is the primary reason, I believe, why anyone in a different country might struggle to become a game developer. The economics of it, I'm not quite sure. I know there's idiosyncrasies with each country and how you can participate in the U.S. economy. And the reason the U.S. economy is so important is because your primary source of revenue is going to be U.S. citizens. That's just the sad nature of it, but that's just the way it is. So if you're going to want to sell games, you're going to need to learn how to sell them to United States citizens and also get funding and interaction with United States citizens, companies in the U.S., but also companies in the U.K. as well. So it's mainly the language barrier. So if you struggle with English, learn that first and get good at it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm smart. I don't know anything about other languages. I'm an idiot. I'm just lucky that I speak English, and also all the companies that provide funding are English. So get past the language barrier first, and then I think that you're golden, because then you can do whatever you need to do. You can get on Discord, you can get on Gmail, you can get on YouTube, you can interact via social media. It doesn't really matter where you are. I have no idea about Iran. I have no idea. Guys, I'm just some lucky dude on the East Coast of the United States. I don't know anything about Iran. I'm sorry. John says, I'm a United States citizen and I will indeed buy your game. And I believe you were talking to the other individual. That's awesome. Justin asks, have you ever thought of working in a games company? If so, what type of company would you do this for? Probably not. It would depend on income. Several things. Income is one of them. Believe it or not, being a solo game developer or running your own studio, the income potential is limitless. I mean, you never. For me, I've doubled my income every year. It's not perfect, but it has more than doubled in the last 6 years. And so I'm not gonna stop doing that, because it's like, why would I stop with this? This is fun, and I get to do what I want, and I am my own boss, and I get to make what I want and tell my own stories, and nobody's telling me what to say or do, and my income is doubling. So it's like, that's just what I'll do. So what it would take for me to want to work in AAA is work with a studio that really, really values good storytelling and doesn't care about pushing the limits of storytelling and what I want to say. My cultural values and my beliefs are very different than, I think, traditional or like just normal American values. I'm a pretty have a unique worldview, and so I think it'd be fun to be able to put that into games. And I've done it with Pinstripe and Neversong, and I don't know if I would have been able to do that had I worked for a company. So it would need to be with a company that was really unique and didn't give an F about what people thought. I don't get to put weird naked Nephilim into AAA games. I don't know, maybe. I'm gonna see. This is what's weird about my game, is I'm approaching this game from a perspective that there are a lot of things about the Bible that I do believe, guys. You guys know I'm a Christian. There's a lot of stuff, weird stuff, really weird stuff that I believe about the Bible. Demonic stuff, Nephilim, all that stuff. I believe that stuff. I'm one of those weird people. And I'm going to project and put that into this game as if it was real. And I don't know if a AAA studio would be cool with that. Simon says, how do you define your worldview? Well, I'm a Christian, and I have a lot of traditional values. And I usually don't go along with the mainstream narrative. So that's just, I'm one of those weird people. That kind of stuff isn't very popular. So, all right, any other questions, guys? And then there's Doom, right? AJ says, hi, Thomas, you're my inspiration. I'm also an indie game developer for 1.5 years, and I'm from India. Here, $700 is like huge money. Can you reduce the price on a country basis? You can email my dude. Go to my website, go to Fulltime Game Dev, and submit a question and mention your name and ask that question. And we'll see. I'll say we'll see because I don't want to say anything right now. But just email us, okay? And we'll see what we can do. All right. Thunderbolt, should I learn Unreal or Unity? Yeah, well, Swarth says the Bible is the best seemingly science fiction ever. Yeah, if it was false, and I don't believe it's false, but if it was false, it's still great fiction. It's still amazing fiction. Top selling book in the world. A beautiful, weird story. Really weird stories in the Bible. And a lot of narratives and story arcs in the Bible that are like very, what's the word? Replicated often. So there's a ton of beauty. When you read it, when you read the Bible, I was talking to a friend of mine about this. It puts you to sleep. It's like, oh gosh, this is weird. And you just get tired and you're like, what am I reading? Every book is different. So you read Genesis and you're like, what? And then you close it, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up the next morning thinking about it. It's kind of like like Christopher Nolan's films. It's like, that wore me out, I'm exhausted. I don't even know if I know what I just watched. But then a year later, you're like, still thinking about it. So I think that's what makes it special. And so I want to put a lot of that mystery and weirdness, that stuff that makes you think, I definitely want to put that into Father, for sure. Yes, I'm a Jordan Peterson guy. Let's see here. Simon asks, do I believe in aliens? I actually believe that aliens are probably able to traverse between dimensions. That's just what I think. AKA, there's some sort of spiritual element to aliens. They are physical and spiritual at the same time. So I actually believe that they are spoken about in the Old Testament. That's what I believe. And there's a demonic... Seriously, guys, go read the first chapter of Ezekiel. Even if you don't believe in anything the Bible says, go read Ezekiel and you'll be like, what the am I reading? Because there's so much in there that's like, this is a freaking UFO. This thing is a UFO. So there's a ton of stuff that feels like UFOs. And so I like to think maybe they're combined. The angelic and the spiritual realm and the demonic realm are, and also the UFO phenomenon we're hearing about today. I actually like to think they're probably one. So I'm actually very careful about UFOs. I'm like, if they came down and started telling us all of their wisdom, I would be skeptical. I'd be like, I don't know if I trust you. All right, Loud Gaming. Hey, Thomas, my friend, I'm wanting to make a game company who wants to make certain types of games, and I'm not really into it and don't... Wait. Hey, Thomas, my friend, I'm wanting to start a game company, and I want to make certain types of games that I'm not really into and don't think they'll sell well. How could I change my mind? I'm sorry, Loud Gaming, I don't understand your question, but I love you, and thank you for your question. Who are the other game devs you follow on YouTube? David Whaley at Game Dev Unlocked. Noah at... I can't remember. Blackthorn Prod. I really like Danny. I actually tons of respect for Danny, even though he's created sort of a meme category of the game dev industry. I think that's great. So I love Danny. I'm really I want to meet Danny, to be honest. I like Brackeys. I've had dinner with them in San Francisco. That was really fun. And I'm actually good friends with Andreas, who worked on with the team, and so I love Brackeys a lot. I miss their channel a ton. So yeah, Danny's great, you know, and I could never ever be a Danny. I'm not really a meme guy. Like, I understand memes and I like memes. Anytime I try and create memes, I do a bad job. Yeah, he seems like a really good guy. Cyber says, your course is the best investment I've ever done. Thank you very much. That's awesome, Cyber. And by the way, guys, I think there's one coupon code left, so if you want to take advantage of that, feel free to do it. Mr. Chambers, most industries, this is a great question. I can't wait to answer it. Most industries eventually become bubbles and pop. Do you think the game industry will ever burst? Well, yeah, I mean, it bursts like every other year in little sections of it. So like the whole concept of making a Steam game and making $1 million off of a Steam game, I feel like that industry is generally burst. Like I don't think like an early, like, I'm gonna make a game and it's gonna be successful. I think that kind of indie game developer is more at risk at failing than they used to. And so what I teach all the time is how you can secure funding and make money off of, let's say, publishers. And those publishers can take on that risk. So you get paid in advance of $100,000, but you don't have to rely on the Steam algorithm to make a ton of money. You can actually just make 6 figures from a publisher and you're good to go make your next game. Put that money in savings, or at least maybe save half of it for your next game, right? So there's all these different ways of making money as an indie game developer. The big one right now that I'm learning about is making money off of these platforms that want to do exclusive deals, okay? So Stadia might want to pay you guys $200,000 for your demo. They go, we love your demo. It's amazing. Can you finish this for us and put it exclusively on our platform? How many of you, raise your hand, how many of you would take a deal from Stadia if it was $200,000 for your demo? Give me an emoji hand. So there's deals like that out there. Apple Arcade, Stadia, Epic Games. Steam isn't really doing anything like that. I bet you they will. PlayStation does exclusive deals, kind of. Xbox does it. Nintendo Switch does not, I don't think. Unless you're like a huge publisher, I don't think so. So yeah, like there's new ways to make money, and a big portion of that, I believe, of the income that indie game developers are going to make is going to be good at partnering with platforms. Okay. The other way you make money is you build an audience like I'm doing, okay? You build an audience on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm trying to do that now. If you haven't followed me on TikTok, feel free to follow me at Thomas Brush Dev on TikTok. So yeah, building an army and building an audience. And a lot of you might be thinking, well, I don't want to make YouTube ad revenue. I want to make money from my games. And I go, hold on, wait. What I'm saying is you build an army and that army converts to sales. And I know a ton of you have bought my games. And that's because you follow me and I provide value to you guys and I appreciate it. And you you buy my games and you buy my products. So building an army is a great way to sell games because you're not, again, relying on the Steam algorithm. You're not relying on the Switch algorithm or Switch putting you into their news section or their latest game section. So building an army is really, really important, okay? Mary says, how long do you think it would take to create a 3D game, for a level for a 3D game, by making some assets yourself? Well, that's a very vague question. So I'm just going to give you a generic answer. Sorry, guys. I'm losing my voice. Still recovering from this cold. You should be using assets. Unless you're some genius, you should be using assets, okay? Now, honestly, it's about the 80-20 principle. If your forte is 3D modeling and you have a very unique style, then create the 3D models. But if your models look the same or even worse than assets you might find in the asset store or Sketchfab or whatever, TurboSquid, just get the assets and humble yourself and use assets. Cyber says, are you all right? I'm recovering from COVID or a cold or whatever that I've had for the last week. Troglodev says, I'm growing my hair out, but it's getting a little poofy. How do I smooth it out? I wasn't going to answer this question, but it's also something I'm passionate about because it's a pain. Hey, you're going through the awkward phase, and it's probably going to be 6 or 7 months. So you need to learn to just wear a hat, all right? Everybody goes through it. What I would do is Google search. If you're, I'm assuming you're a dude. So type in hair growth journey, men on YouTube. And you'll see that every single guy has the poofy hair. It can't lay down. But what you can do is put leave-in conditioner in it. And also, here's a really gross hint. Don't tell anybody. Don't wash it. All right. Hey, Thomas, I'm a student planning on going into computer science, and entrepreneurship is a terrifying idea for me as an introverted person. I love the idea of making games for a living, but the business side of it terrifies me, frankly. Do you think introverted people would make good entrepreneurs? Of course. Being an extrovert has nothing to do with being an entrepreneur. Obviously, you have to talk to people if you're going to be an introvert, but you can actually talk to people digitally, which is the majority of my communication is digital. Not including this. This is obviously, me talking to a camera, and this is really doesn't have much to do with networking, really. The cool thing, guys, marketing nowadays is, as an entrepreneur, really, you don't have to put yourself in front of a camera. You do need to reach out to people, though, via email. But also, just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you shouldn't grow a thick skin and become more extroverted. A lot of people, they like to go, this is who I am because of this stupid personality test I took. And I'm not a fan of personality tests at all. I think they are actually do more damage than good. So you take a personality test and then it tells you who you are. Most people go, okay, well, this is obviously who I am. I was born this way, so I'm not going to change and become something else. My theory is the personality you are given is given to you with the sole purpose of you overcoming those challenges and becoming someone else. So it's kind of like, what if the end of your life, let's say there's an afterlife and you come before God and you say, hey, thank you for giving me all of these traits. Thank you so much. And he says, that's all you did? You didn't transform? You didn't become something else? Like, that was your default set. You're supposed to grow. And so in a way, we're wasting our default talents by not using those as assets to build new talents. So just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you can't transform yourself into maybe someone who's not an extrovert, but maybe a little bit closer, or you learn to pretend, right? Which is what I do. Like if I was giving a lecture in front of you guys, let's see, we've got 206 people. If I was giving a lecture live right now, I'd be fine, because I can actually lecture totally fine. For some reason, talking to audiences doesn't bother me, and I'm still an introvert. But if I went to a party with 206 people and I was one of the guests, I would sulk in a corner. I can't handle that. So there's different kinds of manifestations of introversion, and I don't think they're all the same. And I also don't believe that you have to be stuck as an introvert. And also, if you're an extrovert, you don't have to be only an extrovert. You can change and you become something else. So don't let yourself sink into what you're being told you are. You really don't know, like I said earlier in the stream, you don't know who you are until you die. Like when you die, that's who you are. That's your final state. At least that's what I believe. That's your final state. That's who you are. And so right now, up until the day you die, is what are you going to do with the talents you were given? And how are you going to transform and grow? All right. One more question, and we're going to jump right back in to working on these ragdoll effects, which I'm surprised it went so quickly, honestly. Alex says, do you have any kind of principle that you respect and is your number one rule in life? Well, if you don't believe in a God, maybe you're an agnostic and you don't believe in any sort of repercussions for your life, the concept of being like, I'm an ant and I'm nothing. I'm just an animal. That's actually a pretty decent worldview. The only problem is that you could actually do a lot of damage because, well, who cares? We're all animals. So I'm going to be an animal. You're going to be an animal. Who cares? I'll do what I want. You do what you want. I actually do think that way, except I believe that I believe in a higher power. Okay. So let's say you are an agnostic or an atheist. I would say live as if there was a higher power, because every step of my life I go, is this, I do believe that I'm being watched. That's what I believe. I believe I'm being watched and judged for what I do. I genuinely believe that. And so every step of my life is, I like to think this, I make mistakes, I do, but a lot of the steps, I genuinely go, okay, is this what God wants? Because if it's not, I'm not going to do it. And is this a good thing? Is this a beautiful thing to do? Is this a powerful step? So it keeps me from complaining. It keeps me from being a sourpuss. It keeps me from being a moron, because every step of the day, it's like, I feel like it's almost like you're on candid camera all day. And a lot of you probably think that's oppressive, and it's not, because I think what's more oppressive is living in a life where you feel like you're not being watched and you have no accountability. Because what ends up oppressing you is yourself, what you want immediately in the moment. Whereas for me, I believe I'm being always watched and judged. And so this keeps me getting stronger. I've become stronger and stronger and more disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person. One of the things I love to do, and this may be good advice for all of you, no matter what you believe, make a promise to something higher than yourself. Maybe not a promise, maybe make a yes to something higher than yourself, and write it down and make that a limited promise. Okay, so what I do is I go, here are my 3 yeses to, in my case, here are my 3 yeses to God for the next 3 months. I'm going to get up at 7 a.m. every morning. I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day. And then I'm going to live stream 3 hours a day. These are my yeses. I write them down and then I sign it. And it's like a contract. And I do not break that contract. And the point of this, guys, is it's really easy to let go of it's really easy to let go of what you've thought is important, but the next day you don't care about it anymore. It's really easy to let go of that, isn't it? You go, man, I'm feeling excited today. I'm going to work 3 hours on my game. And then the next day, you're not feeling excited about it, so you just stop, right? So for me, this belief in being watched all the time, being judged, it sounds oppressive, but what it actually does is it keeps me going. The next day, I'm like, man, I really don't want to get up at 7 today and work out. But I go, but I told you I would do it, and I really don't want to lie to you. I can lie to myself, but I'm not going to lie to you. And so I get up and I do it, right? That's what I live by. And I truly, genuinely believe that that's what set me on a path of, I'm pretty disciplined with my life, what I find important. And I would highly recommend, I don't know what you guys believe, but if there was a way for you to get into that sort of hierarchy in your head, where it's like, how do I make it so that my own judgment of myself is not the final judgment, that there's something bigger? And it could be, maybe you have an accountability partner, like a friend, and you say, look, I want to get up at 7 a.m. every morning. And I will text you at 7 a.m. every morning a selfie of me in the gym. And you make a promise and you give it stakes. Maybe it's $200. That's the benefit of having that kind of accountability. And I live by that mantra. I've lived by that mantra for my whole life. And it isn't until recently where I've started writing out those yeses to for me, it's God. Writing out those yeses to God. Now, here's the thing. Once you accomplish those 3 yeses, they become habits. So you can actually forget about them because you're going to keep doing them. And then start another list. Keep doing them. Start another list. And what you're doing is you're building this, honestly, it's a coat of armor of who you know you should be. You know that you should be this list of items. You know, I bet you, let me know in the chat, seriously, because I really want to know, what are some things you know that if you did them on a consistent basis, you know that you would see benefit in your life, but you don't. For some reason, you just don't do it. But you know that if you did do it, things would get better for you. What are some things in the chat? Tim Allen says, pay my child support. Okay. Exercise. Exercise, okay. Patience, that's a difficult one because that's not really, it's hard, it's not really tangible. Exercise is a big one. Stop drinking too much coffee. That's a big one for me. I almost made a promise yesterday that I was going to stop drinking coffee. It's mainly exercise and eating, isn't it? Pixel, finish a project. You know, Pixel, maybe what you could do is you could write down and put it on your wall. I will finish this project no matter how crappy this project is. I'm going to finish it. Write it on your wall, sign it, and maybe give it to your parents or something and say, like, this is my promise. Sleep. That's an interesting one, Seppi. Or is it Kepi? Keepy? Seepy? Dude, Dat Boy Links. Vaping is a hard one. Fortunately, I was accountable to my wife then. My wife wanted me to stop. She couldn't stand it because I was super irritable when I wasn't vaping. So I just quit cold turkey. Vaping is it's questionably bad. I would probably assume it is. But what is bad about vaping is nicotine. It does change your personality a lot. There's a lot of changes to your personality that occur. You definitely you get anxiety relief, but you also become more angsty. That's what I've found. It's so weird. You're like less anxious, but you're more angsty. And then you also become more, your heart rate goes up, but you also become drowsy. It's such a weird, it's wonderful. I love it. It's one of my favorite drugs. No, I really do love vaping. I love it a lot. And so I had to quit because I loved it too much, honestly. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope that was fun. And I just want to remind you all that there are before we get back into the game here, all my streams are sponsored by my online course, Full-Time Game Dev. And so I believe there is one promo code left. Yep, there is one promo code left. And this will be used today. I can guarantee it. I can almost promise you. One promo code left for 35% off, Full-Time Game Dev. And let's see. I do want to. I want to congratulate whoever used the code, if you don't mind. Julian, congratulations, dude. Julian just joined full-time game dev. If you want a shout out, I will give you a shout out for the next person to use the promo code. But you can join the online program. And I appreciate you guys always listening to me sponsor my videos. It supports the channel. Simon, I would encourage you to take a week off from smoking weed. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to partake every once in a while. Believe it or not, even though I am a Christian, I don't mind that stuff. But I do know that it can really cause some weird stuff. I've had a lot of people in my life who've suffered because they smoked every day. Changed their personality and things kind of went downhill. You know, we don't have there's not a lot of research on it, and I know that personally, I get a lot of people can hate on me for saying that, but I've just seen it personally wreck a lot of people's lives. Anyway, yeah, let's get back into game dev. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. This has been really, really fun. All right. So let's hit play and figure out what's going on. There's a couple things that I was really confused by here. Get out of here. Okay. So if you guys remember, the let's see here. I don't want to die here. Let me kill all of these guys first. Crap. I don't know. There's a couple things here. I'm getting kind of stressed out because there's so many things I'm looking at right now that are a problem. We just need to disable a lot of stuff, to be honest. So it looks like... Crap. Okay. Ugh. Stop. Okay. So, let's go ahead and double check some stuff here. We're going to go to our Walker Father, and you'll notice that they all still exist. Okay? The nav mesh got disabled, but the enemy script did not. We should actually disable that. And we should also disable the capsule collider and the box collider. We don't need any of that stuff anymore. So let's actually write that down really quick in the script here. So in the enemy script, if ragdoll, enable ragdoll, we're going to, and the truth is, honestly, it doesn't matter whether we're going to become a ragdoll or not. We need to Funneled Game says smoking weed brought up a lot of underlying mental health symptoms for me. And other people, it helps a lot with those same symptoms. It does need a lot more research. Yeah, for me, it helps anxiety in the short term, but what happens for me usually is I actually have a major generalized anxiety relapse after smoking. So I'm not a person who smokes a lot, probably once or twice a year. And every time I do it, without doubt, in the next 2 weeks, I see a significant personality shift in the negative direction. So I don't know what it is for me. I'm not saying it's that way for everybody, but it's that way for me. And so, yeah. Okay, so as you can see here, guys, we need to disable a lot of stuff after we die, okay? The first thing I want to do is disable this, like the script, right? So we're just going to say enabled equals false. That's this exact script here we'll just disable. And then what we're also going to do is the trigger, the, what's it called? Huh. Is it box collider or sphere collider? No. Let's double check something here. You know what? I feel like we should just destroy we don't need any of this. Let's just destroy him. Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and go ragdoll Yes, here's what we're gonna do. Ragdoll dot transform dot parent equals null. Okay. Now hold on. Yeah. Now the death particles, same thing. So we're gonna destroy everything. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay? Just because, honestly, we don't need all this stuff, and I don't want it hanging around. Okay? So what we need to do is go back into Unity, and we need to actually move the ragdoll to the actual ragdoll itself. So you'll notice if we go into the actual walker here, weed gives me anxiety during use. I will agree there. It depends, right? Alex, that's definitely astute. It seems to make people anxious if they have any kind of responsibility. I will say that there is truth to that. When you've got a kid sleeping in the next room, you like get all of a sudden you're paranoid that there's going to be a robbery or like a break-in or something. All right, we're going to move this ragdoll script, and we're going to actually let's copy it. I'm going to copy this, and we're going to remove it. We're going to paste it on what we want to be unparented, okay? So it's probably going to be this right here, okay? Oh, no. What's the geometry here? I don't know what that is. Let's double check something here. Yes, okay. So it's actually going to be right here. Paste component is new. But remember, we need to actually drag into this. Oh, that's not going to work. Shiitake mushrooms. That's not going to work, guys. We're going to go back to here. Paste it. There we go. And then we're going to make sure that, yeah. We're going to make sure sample enemy has the correct one. The correct reference. Yeah, it got removed. Okay. So we're going to drag it in there. There it is. Okay. So we actually need to specify what the ragdoll object is, or object to preserve after death, essentially. Does that make sense? So actually we can do that here, and we can go to effects. Yeah, effects is fine. And this is going to be an interesting variable. It's going to be called, going to be, I guess, a game object. And preserve after death. Preserved object after death. Okay? If that exists, we're going to unparent it before we actually destroy anything, okay? So preserved object after death. Yeah. If preserved object after death exists, then we're going to say preserved object after death dot transform dot parent equals null. Okay? There we go. Swarth says, Thomas, did you play sports as a kid? Oh, I shoulda. I'm a tall guy. I'm about 6'2". I'm pretty physically fit. Although, I'm getting a little belly. Yeah, I work out every morning. I have a gym downstairs. I'm actually going to post a video on my Thomas Brush IRL channel. If you want to click below, I'm going to post a video of my gym if you guys want to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Knight, you're going to get banned in 5, 4. Looks like we had the law come in.
I'm gonna put you in a timeout, boy.
All right. So we just got Knight put in a timeout. Okay. So now we got to specify what object we preserve. So we can actually preserve this right here. Preserved object after death right here. This one. So this will remain. Everything else will destroy. Destinations, blood projector. Interesting about the blood projector. We'll probably need to put that inside of the enemy. Blood particles die. That would get deleted. However, we actually unparent it here. So actually, yeah, we're good with that. So all of these objects Everything's going to get deleted except for the actual enemy. So that should remove all of this crap here. See all this stuff here? I think that was part of the problem why the particles were becoming possessed. So let's double check and see if this actually works. Okay, Chris, I'll do that. All right. Okay, let's try it out. Everything's slow motion. Why? Oh, interesting. That was cool, but it's not supposed to happen. I know why it is. We need to set time scale. We need to set time scale to 1 on his death. The reason is because there is an effect that's occurring when you shoot him. So we're gonna go time.timescale equals 1. Okay. Good, okay. Okay, so I was able to step on something for some reason. Okay, good so far. Let's go collect some ammo. By the way, guys, I need a female voice to do jump sounds. If you want to send me a zip folder of... I don't know if you're a female. You know, I think almost 100% of my viewers are male. But if you guys want to do it and get a voice acting, get some voice acting, send it to me in a zip folder, and I'll see if I can put it in the game. All right, let's see what I'm actually, if there's any glitches now that the everything was destroyed. You can see here blood particles die. These are not destroying, and they should eventually. Let's wait for those to delete. Looks like we've got a null reference exception here. Let's double click on it, take a look. Look at object. Oh, look at object is now struggling here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, if target exists, okay, or if it doesn't, this is gonna be a good one. If it doesn't, enable equals false. We're gonna disable the script completely. It's like, okay, target's gone. We're not gonna look at anything. I think that's fine. Although the truth is we should probably just do this. This is all we should do. That's all we should do. Just wrap the whole effing thing. There we go. Someone logical? Did you send me an email, someone logical? Shy guy? Don't. By the way, guys, here's a rule of thumb when you want to get in contact with people who probably are getting a lot of emails, which I'll be, cocky here. I get a lot of emails. If you do, or if you're reaching out to someone who probably gets a lot of emails, what you should do is send the voice acting. Don't even ask. Just send a zip folder, and I need jump sounds. Hut, 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 hut. Do like 5 of those. Maybe a hurt sound. That kind of stuff. Maybe some running. That kind of stuff. If it's great, I'll pay you for it. I never give out my email address. I only request that you find it. Because if you could find it, that means you know what you're doing. I just don't want to get spammed, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Let's double check here. That feels great. Die, you mother effer. Oh, that looks good. Hey, and guys, did you notice? They're not launching like crazy. I don't know why, but they're not. And it feels good. Oh, he just killed him. Why are you dying? They're like killing each other. The swing is killing them. The swing is slicing them in half. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? I need to go check on that guy. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where is he going? Are you okay? I like it. You know, it's one of those things where I'm like, that's what makes the game fun. I would love body parts to explode. You know it? So I wonder if I can do that. But for now, I think I want to work on blood splatter. You guys want to do that with me? I want it to look like this. Pretty pixelated blood splatter just all over the place. I want there to be chaos. Absolute chaos. Violent chaos. We are making a Christian game here about Christian concepts. So, let's see here. Just double checking everything. So it looks like a lot of the problems we were struggling with are solved, which is really interesting. Very good. Yeah, Mortal Kombat sounds about right. Okay, so blood splatter is our goal now. Let's double check one more time. I don't know if I like the guts coming out because, well, it doesn't really make any sense, does it? So let's go to our Walker Father, and we're going to take a look at our blood particles die here. You'll notice that we have this heart that pops out. We don't want that. Flesh drops. The Gibbs, I don't need that either. But the flesh drops, those are good. All right, let's hit play again and make sure everything looks good. Yeah, crazy ragdoll is a feature, not a bug. I totally agree. All right, let's give it a shot. That feels so good. Okay, we're getting there, guys, for sure. So you notice that the particles emit from the top a little too high. So actually, what I'm going to do, the death particles are a little too tall. Yeah. Sorry, it's just really fun. I can't, by the way, there's going to be a demo. Once I get the main menu and the story in line, we're going to take that demo. I'm probably going to make it available. I'm going to snag up a lot of your email addresses so that I can get some wish lists. And I'll just teach you guys while I snag up your email addresses. I'll teach you how I'm doing it. So how you can use it too to get email addresses, your demo. And then we're going to take that demo. We're probably going to pitch it to some publishers and try and secure a $500,000 deal. Don't say it, Thomas. Something big. I'm going to shoot for a big deal. A bigger publishing deal than I'm used to. All right. So anyway, yeah. So what we want to do is actually go to our walker. This is why we're using prefabs, guys. Prefabs are a beautiful thing. Let's go to our explode effects. Turn on our gizmos. And you'll be able to see. That looks good. That's a strange thing. That should not be interacting with... Yeah, it should not collide with everything. Ignore raycast. Let's do it again. Nope, that didn't do it either. So let's take a look. Ignore lights. That's the one we want to turn off. So you'll notice that it's sort of wrapping around the sphere collider. That's weird. So we're going to go to our collider here. There we go. Yeah. And we're going to turn off the ignore lights. We don't want it to interact with ignore lights. That's a little too high. That's a little too high. Yep, you'll see the shape. I can't talk. See the shape is a little too high, guys? There we go. Even that's a little too high. Try again. There we go. This collision, I think we're good here. Let's see here. Flesh drops. Those should really be colliding with the world. They just don't collide with ignore lights. There we go. And they should bounce. There we go. Flesh drops. Whatever. That looks good. Okay. Blood drops. Do it again. That needs to be faster. So we're going to make the gravity modifier 1 and 1.5. There we go. And we'll make it higher now. Because it's not going as high anymore. So something like this. Good. Okay, so that's the death. All right. Oh, that was great. It feels so realistic. Oh, I love it. Oh, thank you. Nothing more satisfying than blowing up Nephilim. Look at that. Give a round of applause to me, Thomas Brush, for making this game. And then also a round of applause to AJ, the coder of the game. He's done an incredible job. Get out of here. All right. That was great. And do you guys notice, whichever collider you hit, it actually moves in that direction, which is really cool. Hey, buddy, are you okay? What are you doing? I think Jeb wanted to say hi, guys. You want to be pet? Oh, I know what you're saying. You need to go potty, don't you? Can you wait? Can you wait just a little bit? I'm streaming. Okay. Just a little bit, all right? All right. Oh, we got a bunch of null references. Let's double check what's going on here. Ah. We're still getting them. So let's just take a look here. All right. You can wait, right, Jim? Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe? All right. All right. One sec, guys. My wife's gonna take him out. Game dev Thomas Brush forces dog to not pee for 3 hours during live stream. Yeah, I want to avoid that headline as much as possible. All right, let's see what happens here. So as you can recall, hopefully, oh, that feels so good. I don't even know if I need to do anything. What do you guys think? It's like their head bounces. Oh, I love it. It feels so real. Oh, I didn't even do much. That's awesome. Oh, AJ, you did so good, buddy. Really, I'm just having a blast. He just kicked him. He just kicked him. Where are you going? All right, guys, let's do some blood splatter on the flow. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm having so much fun today, guys. So much fun today. Thank you so much for joining me. So we're gonna do some blood splatter, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the projector. Now, when I was, you know, when I was pretty, I guess, sick last week, my brain was so foggy. I could not figure out how to get blood splatter working, or the blood projector. Blood spatter. Blood spray effect. I don't think I actually got it to work. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. I think I have one. I have an image though that we can use. So blood spatter. Huh? What is this? Blood spatter. That's cool. Looks like we already have one. I like that. What is this? It's really pretty. Let's see here. Oh, I'm going to use that. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to call this blood splatter. This is going to be the projector, okay? We're going to change the material. Hold on one sec here. Dog Force's game dev, Thomas Brush, to take him out to pee during live stream. I like that, John A. John A. All right, so we're going to go to projector here. And it's going to be multiply. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and create a game object. All right. An empty game object. This is going to be called blood splatter projector. Now, we were struggling. We were really struggling last week. Remember? We just could not get this to work. I don't know how many of you were with us. Nope, not projectile. Projector. There it is. And we're going to drag the blood splatter projector. Okay, so far we're already getting a weird situation. We're going to put it down. Like so. 90 degrees down. There we go. Ignore everything except for the terrain, yeah. Although yeah, we want to ignore everything except for the terrain. The terrain is going to have a tag as terrain, but it's not, the layer is incorrect. So let's see here. Yeah, we need to have the terrain be a layer, and it's going to be called terrain. And I'm hopeful that this doesn't screw everything up. First off, let's hit play, make sure everything works. Okay, it all works pretty good. All right, good. So what we're going to need to do now is, now that the terrain is tagged properly, let's type it in, make sure it's tagged properly. Oh, it's not. So let's tag that, save it, double check. Looks like we already have an issue. I knew it. So for some reason you can't see it. And that's because the camera that we're using needs to include it. Culling mask, terrain, believe. Let's double check. It looks buggy. What happened? Something's buggy. Something happened. I'm unsure. We've got a lot of problems. I knew it was going to bug out. Well. We're not going to worry about it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove that. We're going to figure out a different way. It bugged out because I believe that AJ's system is reliant on this. So we're going to remove that layer here. Okay. Save it out. Okay. Let's double check. Oh, crap. We need to make it default now. It's default. Save it. And double check. All right, good. Okay, everything's back to normal. All right, good. I really wish they would blast further. You know? That would be funner if they blasted further away. I kind of want to do that now. The way we're going to do that is we're going to go to enemy here. Or is it weapon? Honestly, I feel like every weapon should be like 150. So let's just go down the line, all right? We're going to go to knife. We're going to set that one to 150. Let's do 200. All right, let's just have some fun here. Pistol. No, I don't want to do it that way. Hold on one sec. I think what I would rather do is set the mass of the objects, the enemy, not to be so high. So let's try that out. Let's go to our enemy, Father Walker. or Walker Father. We're gonna go to each rigid body, and we're just gonna set the mass pretty low, 0.1, maybe even lower, honestly. But we're just gonna do 0.1 for everything. Okay. I think that's what I want to do. So the reason we're doing this, guys, is we're gonna make it so that when you shoot them and they die, they fly really far. It'll make it really fun. Have good game feel, which is always the goal, you know it? So let's just do 0.1 for everything. Every limb is 0.1. I'll go to the elbows as well. 0.1. And okay, good. All right. That should do it. Yeah. All right, let's save that out and jump back into the game and see how it looks. There we go. He flew far. Where did you go? Whoa. Okay, we got a problem. So let's see here. We got ourselves a problem. It looks like after they die and then you shoot them, they go really far away. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see this. No, it's all right. It's not bad, actually. Let's take a look again. Whoa! That's hilarious. So it's hard to know, actually, what's going on. Let's double check. Let's shoot with this gun. Because I saw some of them fly really far away. That's pretty far. Look at you. You got some nice moves, Neff. Okay. So for some reason, the automatic rifle is insanely powerful. Let's double check what's going on here. It's so weird. Yeah, I'm fine with it for now. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back into the blood splatter. We'll fix it later when I'm not in a mood. I'm getting into a mood right now where I want to see progress. Hey, here we go. Where's the blood splatter? Let's see here. There it is. Drag it in. There we go. Now, we have a problem. This albedo... what is this? I don't see any alpha on it. It's a TIFF. Let's open up the TIFF and see what's going on. Let's go into the channels. There it is. So I don't like using channels like that, so I'm going to delete it. And we're going to create a mask out of it instead. Okay? There we go. Whoops. Hop on into the mask there. There's our blood splatter. We're going to save it. And I'm going to call it blood splatter pool psd.psd. I like to put PSD there because I want to see it in Unity. Unity doesn't show the extension, so there it is. Alpha is transparency, remove matte, good, apply. And we're also going to do point no filter, super duper low res, like 128, maybe even lower. Okay, let's go ahead and drag that into the blood splatter projector. Boop, there it is. Now let's go ahead and see what's going on here. I'm not seeing it, so we're going to ignore nothing. Okay, there it is. You can see that it's repeating, which is odd. We don't want that. We also do want it to be orthographic, though. You know, we could probably set it to ignore. What we could do is pushables. Ignore pushables. Ignore UI. Ignore the player. Ignore enemy is fine for now. Now this blood splatter is going to be for the ground, all right? So blood splatter ground projector. Kind of oddly specific, but that'll do just fine. Blood splatter, let's write this in here. ground projector. All right. So first off, repeat, no. Clamp, yes. Apply. Okay, now it's huge. So yeah. Let's go to Google because we need some help here. And we're gonna go to projector. And we're gonna buy one on Amazon. No, here we go. All right. It gives us some things we need to do. To make sure texture wrap mode is set to clamp. Turn on border bitmaps. Use the uncompressed texture format. Okay. I don't know what that means. Apply. What? Okay, I guess it's uncompressed currently. Projector shadows also require alpha channels to be present. Alpha from grayscale is okay. Huh. From grayscale, let's try that. There we go. It works. Hello. And then we just bring it down. Actually, all you got to do is change the size of the orthographic size here. There we go. That's some nice blood splatter. I like it. So let's go to play here and take a look at how it looks. Where is it? It's a little bright or a little dark, but I kind of like it that dark. All right, good. So what we do here is we copy this, delete. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the blood splatter particle. Blood particles hit, okay? Now what you do is, let's see here, let's hit play. That's what it looks like. What you do is you just put it inside of it. Set it to 0. And obviously, you know, you want to make sure you make this a prefab so that you can use it over and over again in various locations. That's good. The distance is insane. So I believe, well, the truth is, let's double check something here. It's a little too tall. Ah, yes. Far clip plane. Drag that to about right here. So wherever we hit, it should just appear. And it'll stay put. Do they destroy? I think they will destroy after a certain amount of time. So what we'll do is we'll actually have a blood splatter ground script that will unparent this and then set its own destroy timer. It'll destroy after about 5 minutes. But we're going to double check this first here, make sure everything works properly. There we go. I believe that worked. I just saw it. Okay, good. So it's like chasing us, and it's also rotating. So what I'm going to do is unparent it and then set it to 0. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty weird. So that's great. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to create a new script here. And it's going to be called projector effects. And all I'm going to do is set the rotation to be, well, you know, first off, you set the parent to null. So transform.parent equals null. And then what you also do is, I would like to do a raycast that finds the ground and then grabs it, you know, and puts it on the ground so that nothing can come in front of it. That might actually be a good idea, but not right now. It could have a rigid body on it. No, that's a terrible idea. So we're gonna set it to null, so it's not gonna follow anything. We're also gonna set the rotation, transform.rotation. What would you do? How do you set rotation to 0? Set rotation to 0, game object. Is it really quaternion identity? I guess it is. If it's not parented anything, yeah. I think that'll do it. Okay, we're gonna drag that onto the projector game prefab, and I think that should do it. We do need to write a script that, or like, so snug to the ground that there's no way it can interact with anything else, essentially. So let's go to blood spatter ground projector. Double click on that, and then we're just gonna add the projector effects, and that should do it. You can see that it's not pointed down. So we're gonna go ahead and set that to 0, or would it be 90? There we go, it'd be 90. All right, let's double check. We got an error here. I don't know what it is. The name transform, it's not transform, transform. Why didn't you tell me, bro? Let's go to play. Let's take a look. Whoa. So weird. Look at that. I see. So yeah, it needs to be down. Vector 3 dot down. Obviously. Correct? It's not giving me errors for some reason. Vector 3, okay, so we need to go ahead and do it like this. We need to do new quaternion. Why am I not getting, what is happening? Rotation, set rotation values. Euler. Sorry, I'm really bad at this, guys. Transform.Euler angles. There we go. I'm not getting recommendations for some reason with my scripts here. It's really annoying. New, vector 3, and then it's -90, 0, 0. Is that it? We'll see. I'm not getting any error recommendations, so I have to go to console to double check, which sucks. Okay, that should do it. Let's take a look. Good, okay, we got some blood splatter. It's easier to see over here. There we go. Let's see what kind of carnage we can have. You'll notice that the blood splatter destroyed. Interesting. Okay, and then we'll set a random rotation along the z-axis. We're seeing some weird stuff there. Whoa, buddy. Get out of here. So obviously, the blood splatter is really dark. So what I want to do is actually go into Unity, and let's take a look at the, while we're in play mode here, we're going to take a look at the blood splatter projector here. Okay, it's currently set to projector multiplier. I do wonder what it'll look like with light. Whoa, bro. Whoa, it's like making a light. Oh. I just got hurt for some reason. We're missing a ton of null references. What are we missing? Wow. Huh. If target, I think it's destroying the parent object. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. Projector, we're going to set this back to multiply and see if we can make it a little bit brighter. This is why I like using PSDs here. Turn down the contrast and maybe do a little bit higher hue. And it feels very violent. That's great. Lots of null reference exceptions. I don't know what they are. That didn't do it. Why didn't that do it? Whoa, everything's broken. I don't know. Oh, there we go. So weird. Okay. What the heck? Very good. I like it. Looks great. It's a little orange. Good. Hey, get out of it. I did not give you permission to do that. Okay. All right. So that looks great. Good. You know, and because this is a low budget game, guys, I'm not too worried about touching the grass or getting on the box here. It could look cool if the... I'm actually curious as to why it's not getting on that box. Let's take a look. Because it really should. Is it set to default? It should. I don't know why. Oh, it's because it's faced upwards. So we need to figure out what's going on here. What if I set it to 90? Ah, it should be 90, Thomas. So this needs to be... where is it? There we go. This needs to be 90, not negative 90. That's up. That's what's happening. All right, let's hit play here again. Okay. Let's go over to the box here and take a look. I wish it wasn't so... Why did that happen? So many glitches. No blood appeared. Let's take a look here. We're gonna see. Where's the blood appearing? Let's take a look. Let's go to our projectors over here. Alright, so we've got projectors all over the place. Sometimes they didn't appear, and I don't know why. So that's interesting. No, it seems fine. Yeah. Okay. Now, obviously, we can actually go to the blood splatter here, which is the blood splatter ground projector, and we can actually rotate and have a random rotation along the Z. Okay. So we can go random dot range -3 or just 0 to 360. Okay. So that solves that problem. And then we're going to do transform dot scale multiply equal, and it's going to be random dot range, and it's just going to multiply by, you know, 0.8 or point this out. I'm not getting any errors here, so for some reason I don't know why. What's this? It should show me the errors as I write the script, so I don't know what's going on. Anybody know what's going on? Transform does not contain a definition for scale. Why? It should. Son of a B. Whatever. Okay. So, does that actually do anything? It probably doesn't. It really needs to be the orthographic size. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new serialized field. Serialized field. And this is going to be projector. No. Projector, projector. And then it's just going to say projector. Stop it. It's acting weird. Projector equals get component. Come on, Unity. Component projector. Wow, something's wrong with Visual Studio. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Visual Studio. Okay. Projector equals get component projector. And then what we do is we actually say projector dot orthographic scale equals, or multiply. So all they're going to do is multiply it times a number. Once, though. So that should do it. Logic Leo says, hey, Thomas, I'm going to make a game in Unity this weekend watching your tutorials. That's awesome. So we got another error here. Cannot convert method group get component. Did you intend to invoke the method? What? Oh. Sorry. Usually Visual Studio will show you what you did wrong. So, yeah. And then it'll also tell you what this variable name is. It should be orthographic size. Let's see here. I gotta Google it. I don't know why I'm not getting recommendations in the code here. It's kind of annoying. Unity projector.orthographic. No, it should be there. Oh, size, not scale. And guys, that should do it. So now we're gonna get random sizes. and shapes and rotations for the blood splatter. Let's go. That was really loud, sorry. Good. Looks great. How's it look when we go up a mountain? Whoa! Yeah, we're gonna need to figure that out. So far, though, it looks really good. Honestly. It's kind of like pretty in a weird way. Okay, obviously we'll need to put some blood splatter on the characters as well. That'll be a separate project altogether because we're gonna need to find the normal of the collider. I don't know what these lines are though. That's interesting. Look at that. You can see these lines. Yeah, we'll need to solve that problem. So far, I mean, feeling really great with some creepy music and maybe some variation in the character design. Maybe some of them are wearing great idea. Let's go ahead and yeah, we're really close, guys, to getting we're really close to honestly finishing out the level with a key and a door, and then you've got a level that's done, and then you create a main menu, and then you're golden. You've got yourself a demo that you can sell to publishers and platforms. Obviously, that's going to be a couple months of work. Let's see if we can go find a new friend. Nephilim! Nephilim! Wait, I just saw his eyes. Who's that? Oh, he's dead. Yeah, something's wrong. He launches a little too far, doesn't he? But the chaos, it's really nice to see the chaos. I hear a voice. It's really nice in a game to be able to see the chaos that you've created. That's really special. It's a really good feeling. So you definitely want to keep doing that. We want to keep the bodies around as much as possible, honestly. Let's see if we can find some enemies over here. Hey, there you are. Good. Oh, hey, buddy. That's great. That's great. So I think what's happening, the reason why they're not launching when I hit them, when they die, is because they're not enabled yet. There we go. So I need to, yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I just want to say, looks like the majority of this is done. So that's good news. I think everything is looking pretty good. I'm actually really happy with it. But anyway, guys, there is just one promo code left for today. This video is sponsored by my game course, Full-Time Game Dev. If you're a student, feel free to say hi in the chat. We've got over 2,000 students. Guys, you buying the course supports the channel and supports the game's development, but it also is an investment in your future. I'm not saying this, my students are. It's a great course, it's highly rated. The refund rate is ridiculously low. I think it's 3 to 4%. That said, if you do need a refund, you'll get a refund 30 days. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. But I use the refund pitch as a way of saying, nobody refunds this course. Well, 4% do, which is tiny. The majority of my students love it. We've got over 2,000 students worldwide, a beautiful Discord community that's very helpful, bi-monthly mastermind meetings with me, and you're gonna learn how to secure funding from publishers and from Kickstarter. I've done that multiple times. And not only that, secure funding from your demo. So we're gonna do the same thing with this game, hopefully. We're gonna see if we can. I may change my mind, but I think I wanna do it. Secure funding from just a 15-minute demo. You can actually do that and you can go full time, and you guys can do what I'm doing, which is make games from the comfort of your own home. Can't make any promises, but I'm gonna tell you what I've learned in the last 5 years of being a full-time game developer. I'm gonna teach you marketing hacks and marketing tricks as well, and securing press coverage from major press outlets. I've done that: Time Magazine, Washington Post, Rolling Stone, PC Gamer, Kotaku. And I can also teach you how to hit the Steam front page with what I call the Steam Cannonball, which is a list of marketing tactics that you can do to hit the Steam front page. And hey, you're going to learn how to make a 2D game and a 3D game, and that's always really cool. So if you're interested in using that final promo code, there's one left. It's for 35% off. These promo codes are probably going to dry up here in a bit. I don't know if I'm going to be doing them for July at all. And this is probably one of the last few times I'll be doing it. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.